by tradition.
Hold
And that
tight.
is hold tight the 3-point collectors.
Next thing, Tottenham are whipping boys for Liverpool. You lot ain't beat us in how long? So look at your face. So when I
I'm about to run.
they forget about when the council is going to take the free.
Oh, for real? When there was a little car park out front. Let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's hold
Liverpool. And as much as we can talk about Mane is a good player, Salah's a good player, they're just not the X factor, bro. Don't forget about it.
Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. We're live in the flesh, live and direct in effect. You already know what time it is. Culture Cams, F Diddy, myself, Maya. Well, what's good? Everyone blessed?
Good, man. It's good. It's good.
Winter break, but we're still here grafting. We're not flying out to Dubai, Scotland.
I wish.
Fam, we're not saying FR clubs.
We might have been a couple days ago. We might have been a couple days ago.
Yeah,
shit.
We're not doing apology letters.
No,
We're just here working humbly. Real talk. But obviously there's not a lot of football going on. There's AFCON stuff, there's transfers. As this comes out, it'll be transfer deadline day. So it's probably best to start with some of the few transfers because we thought we wouldn't see many, but a few have been flickering through. There's been a lot of talk as well. Some stuff involving our clubs as well, which is interesting. I thought that wouldn't happen. So I've seen your tweets popping off, enjoying life. It's been a up and down week for you, but you found a level.
I've been tweeting sporadically. Like every 10 hours or so, one tweet comes out like, yo, we can't talk too much.
Nah, I fully hear it. But let's start with, should we start Europe, then come into the Premier League? Because obviously we've got Adama, Barcelona. We've got DV7 official.
Yeah.
Which kind of,
Mate,
you know,
that was
the what's that?
like that. Listen, they called us crazy, the Arsenal fans.
Well,
when they were getting gassed a month ago, I was like, where did
Yeah.
this confidence come from? And then, but yeah,
We've
we'll get
had
into it.
DV7. We've got Diaz imminent or actually done.
No,
dependent,
done now. Holding shirt,
Oh,
everything.
he's done.
Yeah.
Got Diaz done. We've got your boys potentially.
Every name so far has been linked with Spurs as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I keep looking your direction.
Conte's actively looking for stuff.
Bruv,
right
it's
now,
so nuts. But it's like the range of what we've been looking for from League 2 Tanner to Vlahovic. I'm like, bruv.
Fam, I saw you looking at Lewis FC. You try to
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's the Tanner I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, that's not even League 2, bro. That's like non-league.
Nah, well, are they not even League 2?
Nah, they're not League 2,
mad,
bro. They're like non-league.
Mad. We get desperate out here.
So, and then on the other side, you know, Toney supposed to be
He's gone.
Palace,
He's
going
gone
to Everton now. Is it confirmed Everton now?
El
Interesting.
Chapo breaking out.
That leads
Lamps
very
is back.
close to Lamps.
Let's get
Armour's gone Rangers. So a lot of activities happen. Let's start with all the Spurs related stuff. So in the last week, how's it been like being a Spurs fan, seeing everything sort of like, you know, that picture where the guy's got all the equations and everything? It's like, okay, how do we eat here? Because obviously Diaz you're rumoured to get hasn't
Which came out of nowhere, to be honest. It was one of those things. I hadn't heard any Diaz links for the past 18 months. And then one day it's like, yo, Spurs have bid 60 mil. I'm thinking, weren't this Liverpool's guy or whatever? Lo and behold, Liverpool bid 2 days later. The fee they wanted, whatever. It's all sorted. I was like, we were essentially a smokescreen. We was never in bid for Diaz. I think the Bentancur one surprised me. I think we were linked with Amrabat. There was all sorts of names getting dashed about. And I was just like, yo, none of these solve the creativity issues for me. That's the biggest thing I've been saying at Spurs. We don't have the creativity. But with Kulusevski now, I feel like that's helping. You're adding what I've always said is a third missing link of that front line with Kane and Son. Someone who can play in the 10 as well, who I think that's probably his more natural, comfortable role. But technically good dribbler, creatively adds. Bentancur for me an upgrade on Højbjerg, who's been stinking up what?
No, it's this ticket.
What's he?
Moura is your best player.
Listen, Moura's good, but we've been seeing Moura for the past 4 or 5 years. We see these patches where he puts in these gutsy performances where it's, come on, you Spurs, and the whole PR gets behind. I get it. No, he loves Moura. I get it. It's the same thing. I remember Lamela, people had a soft spot for him because he has this passion thing. Bro, the passion thing gets you so far, but I need ability. I think that Kulu Donny is good. Whatever. We ain't gonna try. Kulu's good.
I've never even seen his real name. I've never seen. I'm just gonna call him Kulu. What's even his name?
Hey, Kulu's good.
What's his name? Kulusevski. Yeah, but when I start saying Kulusevski, you start saying.
No, I respect what you did. I respect it.
What's his first name?
See, I didn't say man's name. I called him DV7. I'm not trying to ruin anyone's name. DV7.
Anyway, yeah, him, yeah, fam. He. I can't lie. I've only seen him a few times, but every time I've seen him, he's been good. So I think that's going to be a good signing. Like, do you remember against Porto when they tried to get the comeback against Porto? Bro, he was running. He was the one that was driving it, you know.
Bro, Italian Cup final. Him and Chiesa were running the show. Yeah. Say that again?
He's Swedish, isn't it?
Yeah, Swedish.
I've seen him link up.
Bentancur, listen, this is the thing. Everyone's a bit like, I think the Juve system, where they've been playing the 4-4-2, doesn't suit him. I think sometimes, especially Conte for me, I think we'll get the best out of him. I think I look at Højbjerg, and he's basically Højbjerg with a bit more speed, a bit more of a forward pass. He's an upgrade on Højbjerg, and essentially we didn't really need an upgrade on Højbjerg, but he's been so poor this season. It's like, yo, we need something. If Ndombele's going, Celso's going, Ali's going, we need to get some bodies in. Ali's in AC Milan, apparently. He's linked with a loan there or something like that. But two signings that I feel like go straight into the first team. So for me, it's an addition. But we still need to address centre-back, I feel like. Now till the end of the window, I feel like just do whatever you can to sign a 30 centre-back because, brother, that defence still shakes me. It still shakes me.
Well, what do you think about... obviously, that's the incoming. Obviously, Bentancur's coming through. But and Dom.
My dog. Hey, it's ended like this now, bro.
There you go.
Like, we're going back to Leon on loan.
Now, let's wait. Hold on. He thought it was over. Shit. Now, let's address. Now, let's address because again, I told you about Spurs, and once again, I'm right. Listen,
what did you tell me? Wait. Before you go on a tangent,
okay.
Can production and Mayo are confirmed for me that Cam said Ndombele coming into the Premier League was a top 5 centre midfielder
coming
out
in
of the gate.
That's the important.
Can I confirm this?
Yes, you can
yes
confirm
or no?
That. Yes.
Yeah.
Now.
Okay. Continue. Yeah. But
I can confirm.
You can confirm.
Thank you very much.
So he was a top. You were saying he's a top 5 centre midfielder.
And then what happened?
So now go on your tangent.
And
please.
then I saw the light. That's the important thing. You gotta see the light quickly. You know, sometimes you see some people don't see it until late. I saw the light quickly.
I said mirror signal that.
Hey, bro, you gotta see the light. And I told you this guy's is a flop, and he's gonna flop. And what did you say to me about Pogba? Can we confirm? Can we all confirm? This guy said by the time Ndombele leaves the Premier League, he's gonna leave with a better Premier League career than Paul Pogba.
I can confirm.
You can confirm?
Misquote.
Thank
because
you very
I
much.
said if he's given the same amount of time
Same
as
amount
Pogba,
of hype. Yeah,
technically right now he's had half. He's had half.
He's not been good enough. Semantics. He's not been good enough. He's not been good enough. And now, do you know what he's happening to him? He was linked to Barcelona, PSG. No, go back where you came from. That's what's happened. They say go back where you came from, and he's going back to Lyon, back to the French league, which might suit him. So I hope you don't go and see him now, maybe ball at Lyon and start saying, "Yeah, this is what we could have had." No, we've seen him for 3 seasons in the Premier League, and he is one of the biggest flops in Premier League history. Hold that.
Do you know what? Do you know what Ndom reminds me of?
No, you can't.
You can't.
Case is closed. That is our first. That is the first case we've opened and closed. He's been
so
sentenced.
funny. I have Case's head. I actually have Case's head.
The judge has the jury done, and Dom's gone. Thank you very much.
He reminds me of.
you.
Do you remember?
You're
you guys remember?
THSC show. We'll reveal the truth.
Do you remember Jean-Michel Seri? Remember when he came to Fulham and there was hype, and it's like, this guy was supposed to go Barcelona. He's sick. And then he just
Ended up
disappeared.
at Fulham. He went to Fulham.
But he just disappeared after that.
He
no,
went to
remember
Fulham.
they got relegated. Then he went somewhere else. I don't know where he is now. This season he's there. No, but remember he went
He went on loan
abroad.
somewhere else. Yeah.
Season.
Yeah, but
in Championship.
It's on this level.
But
go on.
listen, Dom. Let's get into the Donny one. I found that one interesting. I saw
Everyone scuffs over GLC though. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't like that. 50 million, another dud there.
Yeah.
Giovanni Lo Celso. Everyone just brush
Man
over
said-
that because
man
they
said
focus on
Coupe height.
Ndombele because
know
I
what
think
is-
Coupe
everybody
height.
looked at Ndombele's ability and said, yeah, he can actually. Lo Celso, brother.
I
If
also
there's
think
ever
Lo
been such a
Celso's
thing.
hype wasn't as
He
much.
didn't have
But
mad hype.
no, do you know what the
He
problem
just
was?
cut through.
He had 16 goals the season before. He was meant to actually come in and be a difference maker in adding goals from midfield. I think Ndombele was just brought in a bit of magic to replace someone who's a ball carrier, Dembele, who we missed for a couple of years. But Lo Celso, 50 million,
Yeah, I
that
was
goes
never
under
a
the
fan
radar.
of Celso, man. I was never a fan. You know, he just strike me as them like
He's imposter.
them pastores.
Yeah,
Just
them
random
flaky
Argentinians,
players.
the guys that are decent,
The minute I started to see his injury record was poor, I said, yeah, we might have a Lamella 2.0 on our hands. And now apparently
Yeah,
he's
Lamella.
rejected Leon loan bid, so we might be stuck with him for another 6 months, but we move anyway.
Donny.
Yeah.
What you saying about Donny? Everton.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, to me, obviously he had the choice between Everton and Palace. A lot of people are saying Palace. Naturally, everyone likes Palace because of Vieira and they got the young players, they got the black players. It's kind of vibes over there and stuff.
Yeah.
But the way people are talking as if Palace is the right move, Everton's the wrong move. The reason why I don't understand that is because first and foremost, Palace are 5 points clear of Everton with 2 games played more. So all of a sudden, new manager bounce, Everton win their 2 games, let's say, they're above Palace. So let's not act like Palace are contending
So
for the
clear,
Champions
yeah.
League right now. Secondly, as well, is that let's think about it on his point of view, yeah? Like, he can actually be kind of, you know how Lingard went on loan to West Ham? He could potentially spearhead
Spark plug.
this new Everton under Frank Lampard. Potentially a new manager bounce. And 2, the guy lives in Manchester right now. He doesn't have to move house to go to Everton. Go to Crystal Palace. He has to now live in a hotel for the next 3-4 months because he's going to be in London. So for me, I think it's a good move for him. Some people are saying Palace, but I think Everton's a good move.
Can I add on to that as well? I was thinking about sort of like, because obviously we haven't seen him play for a long time, and like the type of football that we was told he was, or we saw he was at Ajax, was, you know, he could possession, he could move about, he could do a bit of everything, right? Very good in possession. I was looking at the Palace team, and I was looking at United situation, right? And I was like, we've had different managers, and he's not been able to get in. But if you look at the profiles, you've got Bruno, who's sort of like a Spurs control freak, goal and assist, and you've got 2 standard guys underneath it, right?
Yeah.
At Palace, you've got like a Conor Gallagher who's allowed to go crazy in there. And then they've got very, like, I remember the game against Liverpool, yeah, they played Schlupp and Williams. And it was like, listen, you just need to just be bodies, let this guy go crazy. I think obviously Vieira would allow him to have a bit more control, but I don't think they're playing a way that you want one person to have control, especially if you look at I'm not saying that Crystal Palace don't have a talented team, but he would have to be so ball dominant and everything. It's like,
It's a bit more balanced at Everton.
Yeah.
You've got Alan, Decore,
they've been missing-
Gomez,
I think
and
they've
then
been
you can
missing that
potentially put
extra-
Donny in there.
You look at Tom Davis, Andre Gomez, they really haven't
Not done
lived up to
anything.
the expectations the last year or so. They've needed that. Obviously, Sigurdsson's been completely pushed out of the limelight as well. So that number 10 role, I don't think they've really had that. Calvert-Lewin was obviously a miss for a period, so I think they've needed something extra.
And the
for
thing
me,
is,
for
like,
me, I think that's perfect.
Lampard's, he did well with Mason Mount, in my opinion. Did well with him as well.
True.
We can't really say, I know his championship as well, but he had like a Harry Wilson. He did really well with him as well. I know he brought in all these talents and it didn't work out in the second season and stuff, but we never really know what he wants to be. One thing that Donny hasn't established in the Premier League yet is, are you a 10? Are you a 8? Are you a 6? Or like, what is it? So Frank Lampard, first and foremost, has just got to be like, look, for me, when I said he came, I said that he reminded me a bit of Ramsey, innit? That's how I saw him at Ajax. Like, he was a good player. Obviously, he can play that football with them, but De Jong and that, leave it for De Jong, Ziyech and all them, man. But he was just ghosting into the box,
Space invader.
nicking goals. Did you know what I mean? Exactly. So, what was that? Lampard made a career off that. So you never really know. It could be good for him.
That's a shout.
No,
From a
I
Man United point of view,
You've got
though,
Bruno,
I
but-
think from a Man United point of view, I just don't get why Man United are making these type of decisions. Like, you would think Man United are stacked. At the end of the day, United are still trying to get a top 4, and United are still trying to win it. You're trying to win a Champions League at the end of the day. So I don't get letting these players go and not anyone coming in or anything like that.
Ahmad as
And I
well.
know he doesn't. Yeah, Ahmad, Martial, Van der Beek. Jones is about to go. I know that doesn't really matter, but these are just all players leaving.
Yeah.
So for me, I've wanted Man United to have an exodus, like let these guys go, but You probably thought it's gonna be in summer. Let these guys go, and so it's gonna be interesting. Lingard might be going as well.
The Lingard
weird business from Man United.
Arsenal have done the same thing though. Arsenal have let a
With
bag
nobody
of man
incoming
go
as
and
well.
no one coming in as well. I saw that Arsenal rejected a bid apparently for Nketiah.
But Edu was toasting, wasn't he?
Someone
On his Insta story.
Someone said he was eating charcuteries. Someone said
Bro,
he was eating
I don't know.
charcuteries.
I said, Edu's a window shopper, bro. Edu's a window shopper. Literally, Edu goes there. I said, what did I tweet? I can't remember. I said, Arteta's putting sweets in the Asda trolley. And you know when you were young, you're putting sweets in the trolley, and your mum's like, go put that back. You know what I mean? You're like, go put that back. Like, what you doing? You go get a cheap cereal. You bring Cocoa Pop. Go get Cocoa Snaps.
Do you know what's so funny?
Go get Frosted.
No one's wait. You actually get to the till, and then she's like, what is it? And he's like, mommy, please. Man said, so Isaac London said, mommy, please.
So he's trying to, like, I don't get it. I don't really get what's going on with that Arsenal publicly trying to chase a striker, publicly getting rid of Oba. Who knows what's going on? I think that's going too far, by the way. That Aubameyang situation is going too far. Like, is he a criminal or something? You're treating him like he's...
Do you hear what Adama
said? I mean, a prisoner of Azkaban.
What did never forgive.
Yeah.
Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
They never forgive. They never learn. Someone should have just added a montage of a celebration there. Sandwiches flying.
Yeah, I don't get it. They're publicly chasing a striker, but put your money where your mouth is at this point. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even an Arsenal fan. As just a neutral seeing it, I'm even like, bro, come on, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, too much smoke. Not too much smoke without fire. Yeah, I'm trying to say.
Is it smoke though? Because I think they're actually trying to go for these players, but these players just aren't interested in coming.
I do think that, did they bid though for Vlahovic? Was it Vlahovic?
I think they did, but he was just not answering the call. Had an agreement, it was set, but his representative.
But for a long time, he was never keen. So move away from that. Don't fool yourself.
No, but I think the plan. I don't think anybody seriously expected him to leave this January. Everyone's thinking maybe in the summer. Arsenal probably tried to cut everyone by saying, "Yo, you know what? We'll pay the money now."
I've got a question for both of you quickly.
Just quickly, just to end that. But Arsenal, I think, and this is the problem a lot of the times, and United have been guilty of this, and maybe you can say Chelsea with Rom potentially. I don't know. You've been guilty of just trying to bribe people with money. There's no way he wanted to go to you for playing reasons.
Yeah.
But Arsenal probably thought, free run, bare wages, Aubameyang's going to go, you can take some of his.
You're going to be the main man. You're going to be the face.
He didn't want to play for you. So in a way, it's good, man, because all of a sudden he comes, he's eating bare peas, flops. And to me, I'm not going to lie, I'm not as impressed with people going on like he's... I think he looks all right.
He could have been the catalyst.
Yeah, stay in Syria.
He could have been the catalyst for Arsenal to be like, back.
Nah, no.
The question I wanted to ask you guys is,
Haaland's waiting there.
Mitrovic is there for 20
Actually, I don't know. You know, I don't know Haaland's fit-wise.
In terms of recruitment, what would you say is the hardest position to try and acquire? Obviously, it's dependent on what you need and everything. But what would you say is the hardest position to try and like go after in the transfer market? Because I think
in January or in general,
just in general, I think it's always got to be a striker because ultimately, like that is
goals are currency, man.
Goals are the currency, and that's why if you think about elite goal scorers or up and coming talents that are going to be there, it's very there's very few and far between. Like, remember when Arsenal were like, we've got to take Tammy Abraham. Like, Tammy Abraham's doing really well in Serie A. Like, at the time, you know, he was Premier League player, he can do well. But what I'm trying to say is, there's not like an abundance of, okay, if that's not a target, we can go here. The names always sound very different.
Depends. If you're looking at the age of, let's say, 23, and lower, and you have someone that could potentially give you 15 goals a season as a striker, just from 23 and lower, it's like finding gold at this point. It really is. It's like Isaac that's linked with Arsenal right now. He has 4 goals. He has 4
7
goals
all
this season.
comps or something like that.
There we go. He's not even bagging like that. But
they're stalking him though.
Exactly. Tammy was a goal. Tammy was a goal scorer.
And you have to. I feel like with a lot of those signings, with any young signing, you have to take a risk. But I feel like with a striker, it's like you have to go in. It's like, you know what? It's been God's hands now. Because if you think about it, like Balogun's gone on loan to Middlesbrough. They're still holding on to Nketiah.
Yeah.
They're going for a young striker. You've got 2 young strikers there that you don't think are good enough, clearly, because you would have pushed one of them to take a chance. They have to be so sure that this is the guy. So I think with DV7, they thought, you know what? We're going to put all our money on this.
Yeah.
We're going in. He's not available. He doesn't want to come. It's like, crap, we didn't really think about that. That's how it comes across a little bit.
Yeah, I hear that, but then
Didn't they go after, Crystal
think-
Palace
I think-
Edward a few seasons ago? They were like looking around.
Arsenal.
Yeah, they looked around that like the Dembeles
But I
and
think striker's
stuff like
always
that.
going to be difficult because no matter what, the team that loses him, it's going to be taxing on them as well. So
Yeah,
they're
of
going to
course.
charge you the premium. But I think from a different perspective, I think defenders
Centre half.
nowadays, centre halves, like they're so few and far, especially like the golfing quality between actual top centre backs, like what you say, A grade centre backs and a B. I think the gap nowadays is so massive. That's why clubs overpay massively, like for a Maguire or a Varane, or not even Varane, but Ben White, yeah. Like when they think there's one that, he could be an A grade, they'll break the bank for it because they think. I don't think there's that many
But do you know what
top,
this
top
highlights me,
defenders.
though, yeah?
Even fullbacks, I would
Scouting
say.
has died, or talent IDing has died because when we
Say that, but then Liverpool just go and sign Luis Diaz.
No, with Liverpool always gonna Liverpool. Someone said that Liverpool are like on a
talent
360
ideas,
deal,
that-
yeah,
that's a mad
where
statement.
they wait for like 2 seasons and they cash out. When I say it, it's like a team like Leicester will do the groundwork for someone, so they will go and get the Wesley Fofana. He will have 1 season. It's like, oh my gosh, we should have signed him. Let's put 60 million. How many top teams do you see wait for another smaller team to show you that 1 season of play, and then you go, you know what, we should have done that. Boom, let's take him. It happens a lot.
I get what you're saying, but
I
then
think-
at the same time, though, you can to counter that. You can, because you're basically saying there's a lot of in-your-face signings, basically, like
Not in your face, but I think maybe because the other teams, they will spend a lot more time and be like, you know what, for us, this is not a risk because even if he gets good in 3 seasons, it's still something.
Yeah.
He goes there 1 season, this is exactly what we expected. Everyone's like, he was in our radar, he was in our stat file, but we didn't look at him. We'll give you 80 mil for him. I use Fofana as that example because I remember the discussion after 1 season, this guy's like a generational centre back. What are we doing with him? The whole Saliba thing is very similar as well, where teams are like, we'll take him off you. I feel like the bigger teams don't do that. We can talk about the Lukaku thing, right? A lot of people would say that there was younger strikers that you could have got for cheaper, potentially. But it was like, Lukaku, he's been doing this for years. We're going to put 60 million on him.
60.
Well, how much was it?
95.
95.
He tried to knock off a third of the deal, Hey, don't kill me. That's 60 mil. Don't kill me.
That's funny. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of the time, big teams would
So what
tend
you're
to
saying
do
then, big teams should basically skip that step of letting smaller teams sign them and just go straight source.
But it happens. Look at Man
'cause I
United
feel
with
like-
Wan-Bissaka. We did that
Yeah,
first season.
100%.
50, and
I
now
feel
we're
like
here
it's
saying, yo,
happened.
how do we get rid?
Chelsea with Havertz, you did that. You went straight to source rather than let him move to
No,
another club.
we bagged him for
No,
70
but
mil.
I think Havertz is different because
yeah.
Havertz wouldn't have done a Leicester step.
Yeah.
Havertz was gonna.
He
Yeah,
was
it would
doing
have
a
been
big
like.
move.
Yeah,
I think there's
actually,
a-
but maybe he could have done a Dortmund, maybe or something.
Nah, Leverkusen, Dortmund is too much.
Okay,
Isn't
okay.
that much of a step
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, as in, like, I get what you man are saying, but that's like the Wan-Bissaka one.
City-
The Wan-Bissaka one's
Wan-Bissaka one's a good example.
City just signed Julian Alvarez, so that's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Alvarez,
Yeah.
Straight to
Porto,
source.
Liverpool signing Diaz. So maybe, but
But
again,
even
it
the
depends
Diaz
on
one
the
where he
football
goes
clubs.
Porto, going straight source will be grabbing him from Colombia, like Arsenal did with Martinelli.
No, but Porto still. No,
You still got to show your talent somewhere.
Exactly.
Yo,
Liverpool.
Man wants to find them from the
Nah, but I'm saying once you've shown your talent at Porto, you're going to become premium price.
tell you what, I'll give it-
Colombian league. I
I'll
don't
give
even
it-
know one team
I'll
in
give
there.
it. I'll give it. Example.
Medellin.
If you look at Liverpool, yeah.
That's it.
Liverpool grabbed. Let's say Van Dijk was Southampton, Mane Southampton. It's like. Do
Jota.
Van Dijk even had
Jota,
Celtic
Wolves.
before
Andy
Southampton,
Robertson.
bro. People forget that.
you see
Andy
what I'm saying?
Robertson.
So it's like they do this whole thing where it's like one, but they don't pay mad premiums for them apart from some of them.
I think that's the risk you can't take as a big club because every season you're competing, you're on the line. You can't.
You need
hope
here and
that,
now, you need here and now.
I signed this kid from Colombia and he comes in and he's gonna bank me
Yeah.
straight away. Nah, go
You need
prove
here
your
and now.
stripes. Once you've proved it, I'll pay the big bucks. So
and
I get
yeah, I
it,
hear
but
it.
I don't
afford-
think it's a thing of talent ID loss per se. But yeah,
You can afford to do it when you're actually good.
yeah.
You see, Liverpool can. I mean, City can sign Alvarez
Yeah.
and say go back on loan,
Yeah,
come back next season, have a cute few couple runs that Ferran Torres did, and maybe take your
See,
opportunity.
like, someone like
Chelsea
Spurs
can't do that right now.
Spurs can't do that.
Spurs can't do that.
can't afford to have Ndombele, Celso, 115 million burn like that. Now we're doing loan to option to buy. Do you know
Yeah,
why?
yeah.
Because we're like, hey, we got to make sure these man bang before. So,
But you know, with loan and option to buy, yeah, how often do people end up buying? after the loan.
Under Paratici is 95%.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Because I always
From
feel like
Chiesa, Bernadeschi, Demiral.
you know there's
he's
a
done it
difference.
so
because I always
there's
feel like you
option,
get
then
them
there's
on
obligation.
loan. Yeah, I feel like you get them on loan. Yeah. You get them on loan, they do well, but then you still look at that toy that's like on the corner and be like, but what if we get him, let him go? Yeah, I mean, maybe he'll make a bigger impact. I always feel like no one ends up buying.
I think that's the thing. It gives you that flexibility where if you think, yo, do you know what? We can maybe get a better deal for someone else. Boom. Because we did that with Gedson and Vinicius. At the time, we thought, yeah, good prospects. We can get them squad that if they bang, Benfica telling us 50 million. If they don't, safe.
But how would you feel, for example? This is what I mean by... So, for example, say they bang, yeah? It depends. What's
Romero's
bang?
50
let's
million.
say they do well, innit? Let's say they do well.
Kulusevski, I just want to see flashes.
Yeah, let's say they do well. Okay, cool. And what's his price to sign him in the summer?
40 mil.
40. Now, that's 40 million.
That's decent.
That's 40 million out of your budget in the summer on him. And
Hey,
let's say
don't
he does
forget,
well.
Romero's 50 million in the summer waiting. He's a loan to buy as well.
Oh, there
Is
we
it
go.
obligation?
Yeah.
So there we go. So you
it's obligation?
potentially...
90 mil. No. I think it's
Option.
what's option? Yeah.
Oh, so he's alone. He's alone.
Yeah, he's
The
alone.
obligation one is mad though.
It's something like, but I think it's actually an obligation because I remember he signed a 5-year deal on top of the loan deal.
Yeah,
So
so it
it's
would've
almost
been-
like it's guaranteed to go through next summer.
But then,
mad.
wouldn't you feel a little bit like, all right, let's say Kulu gives you 5 goals. What Kulu? New thing, yeah. Let's say he gives you.
we'll call him Shevsky.
That's funny.
Let's say, for example, he gives you 10 goals and assists by the end of the season. That's good.
What, this season?
Yeah. By the end of the season,
Hey,
5 goals and
slap
maybe
the
5
40
assists.
mil.
You do the 40 mil.
100.
I don't know, man. I
Hey,
don't know.
listen.
No,
You
but
give me
the-
flashes and
I
some
hear what
goals
you're
and
saying.
contributions.
Do you know what I mean?
But you're saying it with the fact that there might be something
Bro,
out
I'm
there
thinking-
for certain.
Yeah.
No.
Which isn't always the case.
Bro, with Tottenham, I can't take that risk. I'm sorry. We are not guaranteed to, if we turn our noses up at Kulusevski, that we're guaranteed going to get a better player. I look at him, I'm thinking 21, technically good enough. You show me flashes in the next 6 months. That's my
Do you know
investment
what
for the
option
next
is-
couple of years.
do you know what
Safe.
issue with option to buy as well is? If that player that comes on loan does well, they start circling. Or you get remember with the Morata one where it's like, okay, cool, we're going to bring him back from loan.
Oh, where
Sign
they're
the
just gonna
contract,
flip.
and then
Yeah,
we're going to
yeah,
make a
yeah,
flip.
yeah, yeah.
So you've got to be
Madrid just
careful. Like
flipping
sometimes
houses.
you want a loan player to have impact, but not do too much. Because if they do too much, it's like, why are we letting this player go? I'll give you.
You don't
example,
Gallagher.
Lingard. Let's talk about Lingard's one now. Yeah, Lingard's situation is so interesting
He didn't do
because
good enough.
he went West Ham. Yeah, He
We
did
just
sit.
said, yeah, no, you can have him. You can have him.
You've got a year. You've got a year now. Yeah, cool. Club are thinking we want to try and make a change. He did really well. Like everything we said, the valuations, it's right. We saw what he done. We don't want to let him go for easy. Cool. The clubs that wanted to get him West Ham, you know, we'll wait out. Newcastle, we need enforcements. We're going to come in. What do United do? Listen, we saw what our player did last year. We think with your club, you know, you Sam Willock, he's not doing jack shit. We think that Lingard can do things. So what we're going to do is we're going to say this. If you stay up, we're going to charge you 12 million because he done something.
Does this contract run out? I'm confused. How are you lot doing that when this contract runs out?
This Lingard situation for me
It's mad.
is so badly, it's
sell.
so poorly handled, yeah. And one thing I don't get is that there's so many fans that are saying they're pushing the whole, well, you should have left in the summer. No bid was accepted.
Yeah.
David Moyes came and said that Ollie specifically told him that that Lingard's not for sale.
Yeah.
So people are saying that Lingard should have pushed for it. All right,
the
cool.
club don't want to sell
So
you-
what is push going to do? People wanted him to
Hand
burn
in
the
transfer
house down
request.
or something. This is a guy that's been at Man United since he was 6 years old or whatever, yeah? Every academy picture you'll find, you'll see Jesse Lingard. He's not going to try and force his way out completely like that, yeah? Cool. At the same time, he might think, people are saying he should have known that he was not going to play this season. But you're still a Manchester United player at the end of the day. That's still a blessing.
contract,
He's
yeah.
still probably thinking, all right, maybe I can cut through.
work
Look what
my
I did
way
at
in.
West Ham. I'm not going to push for it, but if the club
opportunity
accepts
comes,
me,
yeah.
I will go. It is clear that Lingard wanted to go, bro.
Yeah.
He just didn't transfer, request, and kick up a storm. Why do people want that to be the case? Yeah, why do people want that to be the case? I think the way Man United handle it, we're trying to get money. In the summer, West Ham were offering like 18, 17 mil. We were saying 25 million, put up or shut up. And now here we are. Now here we are about to him go on a free. And now we're trying to save face by doing anything. We're trying to spite other clubs. That's what we're trying to do. Like, well, if you're going to take him off our hands and we're going to look stupid. No. If he keeps you up, give us 12 mil. We're desperate now.
Yeah.
And all that's going to end up happening, his brother's putting stuff out and all this type of stuff. I am 100% on Jesse Lingard's side in this
No,
case.
100%.
Nowhere near. There's Man United fans who are hating the same thing they're doing with Martial, the same thing they're going to do. Why are you demonizing these players, fam?
Yeah.
Look at the club. You know what I'm saying? Look at the club, man. I'm 100% on Lingard's side, bro.
No,
He's dead in the right, bro.
I don't
Sell him.
disagree with
Let
anything
him go.
you said.
You're about to lose him for free. How
Literally,
stupid are you guys, bro? For free. Pogba's about to go for free. Pogba has every single summer. His brothers have sat on El Chingrito and said, he wants to go. He wants to go.
You can say that correct.
Every
loves it, that's why.
Every single time they've said he wants to go. We haven't done it. No, we've winded it down. He's about to go off for free. We're just, honestly, the way that club is run is
Clearing the
unbelievable.
books, that's all I'm saying. Looks like you're clearing the books.
You're
Some
about to sell
overhaul,
you're
the
about to sell
exodus
about-
you wanted.
Yeah, but
It's coming.
you're about to sell about 7-8 players and probably make about 50 million off them. You know,
It's
but-
poor. It's
Yeah.
poor.
It's crazy. And they're good players.
Should we get into questions?
Yeah.
Wait, there was another transfer. Fucking Newcastle.
Adama.
bruv.
Adama.
Oh,
Who?
Adama, that's a strange one.
It's not a strange one.
Newcastle, they're making Middlesbrough's attacking it.
yeah. Just leave
Braithwaite,
it. Braithwaite,
Adama,
Brett Samalonga,
Bar-
Congo.
yeah.
They need Brett
Barcelona,
Samalonga.
Middlesbrough 2017-18, you know.
Just
Listen. Adama's a youth
Laporte.
product.
I'm even gonna say that. I
Adama's
like
a youth
him.
product. Let's respect it, bro. He's La Masia's product.
No,
Yeah, soon
people
they'll be
forget
bringing back
that. We
Mariba.
tweet-
Because he's
similar
PMP.
things.
They don't want to say he's from La
We
Masia.
tweeted similar things. I can understand what Xavi's done here. He's gone to Qatar, you know. They played football out there and everything. He's come back to La Liga. He's probably not been Spain for years and everything. He's watching the games and he's gone, rah, shit's really changed, you know. He said, rah, these guys are a bit quicker. It's like, rah, we need hybrid.
need X factor.
We need hybrid. We need tiki taka, but with oomph. That was there. He looked at it. He said, you know what? The game's changed, man.
It's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. Is he gonna be in the front three? Yeah, so he's gonna be in the front three.
He's not going to be playing.
I
right back.
imagine he'll be
He's
an
not playing right
impact
back for
player.
them.
I imagine he'll be an impact player. I don't think he'll be starting
Why won't
week
he
in
start?
week. I don't know.
Fingy's injured.
Ferran
Ansu
Torres.
might have to have surgery. Dembele's off.
Yeah. He's
Ferran,
gonna
so
play.
they got Ferran
He's going to
Braithwaite, Ferran Braithwaite, and Adama,
Luke
He's
De
going
Jong
to
still
play.
there?
and Luke De Jong.
Listen, he's bagging as well.
Newcastle player.
Don't sleep on my guy
That,
Luke,
bro,
bro.
that
Is Memphis still there?
yeah, but
Yeah, I mean,
he's
my
looking
guy
disillusioned
Memphis
at the
still
moment.
there, yeah.
Man,
Dutch
to drop
brothers
EP,
who
bro.
can't
He's
stand
looking a
them.
bit disillusioned.
him and Lukaku about to drop.
He ain't doing them
bro.
Insta posts no more. I know that's how he's not feeling
Hey,
himself
for
right
real,
now.
for real.
On the real.
He's rattled.
Before Maze, I'll ask you last one. What's your thoughts on Martial? Because you know Simon Jordan was saying it ultimately the blame is with Martial. He's been at Man United 6.5 years. We can't keep making excuses for him, and then everyone's obsessed with saying no one's been good at Man United. Bro. So what's your thoughts?
You know what? Yeah, it's a hard one with Martial because I'm a 50-50. I'm 50-50 as much as I can be. No, because there's two sides to it. The people that completely absolve Martial of anything are wrong, bro. Like Martial, he had a good season when he started, dropped levels. Now we blame Jose Mourinho and stuff, fine, whatever. Then Oli comes in, he has a peak again, then completely jumps off a cliff to 4 goals in the league the next season. I'm sorry, you can't be doing this and this. At least if you're going to do a median like this, at least so you can look at it and be like, this guy's a bit meaty, but maybe it's the club's fault. But when you're doing this and this, sometimes you got to look at yourself. Are you motivated? What is it that they can't get out of you for you to perform?
Yeah.
So I think when you look at his talent, when you sign Martial, there's a Ballon d'Or clause in there.
Yeah.
Everyone's laughing now, but let's be honest.
At the
Martial
time-
was crazy talent when he was coming through. He was a big talent.
I wouldn't say Ballon d'Or though.
Nah, but Ballon d'Or is just like
I just thought he was a prospect.
It's optimism. It's sort
I mean,
of like
you look at. So, if, for example, if Phil Foden was to leave Man City tomorrow, or let's say last season, and somebody put a Ballon d'Or clause in there, would you laugh?
No, but Foden's
wouldn't-
done more than Martial did
But
before
do
he
you know
came
what
to
is-
United. I felt like he had a good
I-
season.
up
at
until
Monaco.
last season.
I get what you're saying,
it's
but
pretty
you
much
have, what
similar
I
thing.
would say. What I would
Wait,
say
hold
is-
on. You know he won the European Golden Boy at Man United.
Yeah,
No,
at
but
Monaco.
but what I would say is,
Was
you
it-
see,
No,
with the
at
Ballon
Man
d'Or
United,
clause,
he won the
you have to
European Golden
take
Boy.
the Ballon d'Or clause with a pinch of salt. Because remember, when they were negotiating that deal and everything, it was like they wanted a specific price. United were like, listen, we want to pay, we want to think. So they tried to put clause, and it's like, okay, eventually, one day we'll bank a lot.
bank
But
on
also,
80 million or
but
something.
also, like,
So I get what you're
I get
saying,
people.
but it's both
It's
sides.
funny, but we're talking about a European Golden Boy at the end of the day.
He was a very
for
good
me.
player.
I
Yeah.
think that was fine. I guess Man United trying to find ways of saving money. I guess, but Man United cannot be absolved. I saw what Simon Jordan is saying, but this is a reoccurring thing. If it's not him, it's going to be the next man. It was Rashford. It was Martial, Di Maria, Memphis, Mason Greenwood. You're looking at him. He's struggling this season. He's looking like it's just going to be a develop on your own thing, mate. You know what I mean? Whatever happens type thing. There's too many. I would understand it if he failed at Chelsea, or if he failed at somewhere where people cut through and they're successful. Yeah. But at Man United, the history of so many players flopping is too high for you to say that it's only Martial's fault. And I'm somebody that's critical of Martial. I haven't been as high on Martial ever. Like, in terms of what people have thought, like, wow. I've always thought talent, but I've always had my 50-50 with him. Yeah. But at the same time, Man United can't be absolved of blame, bro. Man United are not a good club. There's no fee included
in that deal, though. So that's
I was going to say, do you think this loan move, because we always talk about loan moves, like rejuvenating players and everything. And I feel like there needs the shame in a loan move for like a player needs to be taken away. Like, sometimes you just need to change your environment, get your head down.
R9 messaging him in the stadium. Man was being
presented
like a king. Bro,
they're in the title.
He could leave there winning a title.
Even Ahmad's in the title race right now. Like, United players. And I feel like sometimes those loans are good. I know when you said that, the level of the league, but I feel like Rangers have got a young player called Jota. He goes in. Sometimes you need to find a level where you can be uber confident and just cook, so you can leave with your head high, and then you can decide what you want to do.
But it depends. Martial is now at a situation where he's at a kind of like a crossroad.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, people have got to be honest, right? Martial and Rashford, if you're looking statistically, they're basically like twins. Yeah. They've done the same thing.
Literally.
Man United would never consider putting Rashford out on loan or anything like that. Do you know where I'm coming from? So Martial is at a crossroad at the moment. Does he go and do well at Sevilla and come back and say, you know what, one last ride? You know what I mean? Or does he just say, get me out of here? Life is good outside of Man United. Do you know what I mean? Because the new manager is going to come in. He might say, you know what, I like Martial. So I don't know what's going on.
Lingard situation where he bangs on loan, comes back.
No, Martial still got like 2 years left on his deal.
So for him, at least the main thing is for himself, go out, have a good move, and then that way the world's your oyster.
But what do you guys think about Martial, the Man United and Martial situation though? Like, do you think it's all Martial's fault? I can't
personally,
I
felt like United have needed to cut ties in the summer. I would have said personally, I feel like Martial has had his time where he's been given the left wing role, the number 9 role. You're the link up man. Ollie put all his chips behind him, especially after bubble Martial. I think everyone brought in that season when you're saying the 4 goals. I think was kind of like all right, this guy cannot be the Man United number 9. Especially, as I said, when you consider the lineage and history of United number 9s, you don't fall into that.
I've never been convinced as Martial as our number 9. Yeah, as like whatever. I've always said Man United number 9. Yeah, as you just said, is something that should be respected forever. But I think go on.
He's more of like, and maybe you could say how the game's moved these winger forwards nowadays. He's fallen into that kind of category. But I personally have said I think this is a good move for him, and he should use it to move away, not come back and try.
Because when he started, you could think with the early numbers, you know what, maybe he can do it. There were early signs that he probably couldn't be that guy. United always have. You always have. United
everyone's
always have
Henri regen. If you're black,
black French gloves, you're Henri regen.
But you know what? Yeah, but the thing about United is that they're just too inconsistent with it. Luke Shaw's been here nearly 7-8 years.
You're saying some might get too long of a leash.
Yeah, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Too many players.
The last thing you want, though, is too many man on too long of a leash.
No, but that's what's happened to United.
You know what I mean? That's what I just feel like with Martial now, the worst thing is if he does well, you can cash in good money on him. That's the thing. Right, so there was no use in kind of still keeping him just to have him fill in every third game.
But what I'm saying
is,
two
granddads up top.
The thing is, I agree with that. I agree with that. But then again, what I'm saying is, if you're going to set this precedent now, like,
do it for everyone else.
Do it for everyone. Luke Shaw, I'm sorry, he's been at the club 7-8 years. Yeah,
how many years was he injured?
Done nothing. I've never seen a Man United player replaced so many times in my life. 1 second it's Darmian, then it's Ashley Young, then it's Blint, then it's Tellez. Everyone replaces Luke Shaw once upon a time. Everyone does.
Because he's
so keep the same energy.
Fit,
right now, Tellez is Rangnick's man. Yeah.
Dallo.
Keep the same energy then for someone like Luke Shaw, bro. Get him out. We say
you're talking
fan and the club. If you guys are going to be getting rid of players because they're not cutting through, they're not doing what they've done, they've been at the club a long time. Let's look at Luke Shaw. Or is it because he's Mr. Shawberto Carlos, England's hope and savior? I don't know. Man United is just a great club.
Let's go into some questions. Got one here that says, why do people pretend that doing necessary business in Jan is the hardest thing ever? By tapping tubes.
My guy.
Yeah, January is a hard
January is a hard window to do because teams don't want to let their players or key players go. But I think obviously with this window, you're maybe seeing a little bit more movement amongst teams. But I think you look at the players; they're not players that the teams. It's key to them. For example, Kulusevski, even Bentancur, I don't think they're key to Juve. Vlahovic is maybe the big one where you're thinking, yo.
Do you know what I think the issue with the January window is? It's a very cheeky window because when it's the summer, you've got more time. You're assessing, okay, this is my plan for the season. With the January window, let's say you've had the first part of the season, something happens, 2 weeks to go. Like, for example, Newcastle, Burnley, when a relegation scrap, I'm taking your man. It's a very strategic, cutthroat thing because it's like, shit, I've only got 2 weeks.
You can move smartly and
and tactically, but at the same time, it's so dependent on what's happened in the season. You're not making signings in January that are like long-term things. It's based on what's happened in your season or based on the opportunity that's come up. I don't think you make like a strategic long-term signing in January.
The only strategic long-term signings in January get made are the ones that should have been done in the summer.
Exactly. And it's lingered over and then you found a window of opportunity. But more time, it's because something's happened. I've not got enough centre mids. I don't need this. Listen, let's do something quickly.
Yeah. With January transfer windows though, it's about the reaction though. It's about the reaction from, as you said, from the other club. So for example, Chelsea signed Torres, 50 million. That made Liverpool panic and sign Carroll for 35. And that broke the market, bro. I was about to say they hit the belly with Suarez, but I'm telling you, if it was a summer, they would probably only brought in Suarez. They panicked with that and they were like, whoa, I mean, let's get him in.
Yeah. So you don't have time to
you don't have time to think. And imagine a club coming to you, with a week to go, 50 million, Fernando Torres, your best striker, give us. You know what I mean? You're like,
and then,
oh shit, what do I do? I was in top 4 race.
The side I'm not talking about,
Carroll,
and I've seen it in a few sort of things, in fans' perspective, because that will happen, and then you lose your best pen, and the fans are like, we want the club out. They can't believe we've done this. It's like, right, we've got to appease the fans. What would the fans like? Cool, let's sign this guy.
January,
we're happy.
But then sometimes January it can provide like a spark plug signing that just I feel like gets the fans excited.
Yeah, 100%.
I remember even Arshavin deadline day with Arsenal. They were going nuts. Then he scores the 4 goals against Liverpool. Yeah,
but that's why in January, bro. I feel like in January you get more deadline day signings because it's like, if I strong arm you enough, I can get this player.
But as you said, it's because I think January is a very tactical window. You're seeing what moves everyone's making. Like
January,
that's why you guys have been in the situation you are, because you're like, hold on, okay, we have a fact file of who we want to get. And it's like,
this is the one benefit to Paratici's scattergun approach. I'll say that. I'm gonna have 7 targets for every. I'm leaving with something. And where you start to think, yo, we're gonna get an Amrabat. Fuck, he's fucked it. He's like, no, that's just the assurance. I'm waiting for this Bentancur to come true.
The January is like a long extended deadline day. If you think about it, if you're talking about the reactions. Remember when we signed Berbatov on deadline day? That messed you guys up. That's derailed what you guys all plans of what you guys wanted to do. So
it's not the hardest thing ever, but it's so like, unless you have like the right people in the room and like you can really strong arm teams. Like, look what everyone's trying to do to Newcastle. It's like, we know you've got money. We know that you're going to affect us in a few years' time. So we're going to play hardball now. Everyone's trying to take the piss out of Newcastle because they know what's going to come in the future. Like, we don't even do business. 2
years. I said they'll survive relegation this year. 2 years. They'll be cooking.
Bruno
Guimaraes is the first.
That Alano signing.
What?
Signing.
Got one here. Says,
I reckon he'll be their Neves.
Neves,
I reckon he'll be the Neves.
What for Wolves?
What Neves is to Wolves,
Champions
he'll
League,
be to them.
That's a good comparison. Is Lampard's CV good enough to get the job? If so, what skill set has he shown to turn it around?
Who's that?
Answer?
This was by
give the people their shout out, man.
Nick King Graham.
Like someone else that can read. Give it.
No, it is because there's no space in the at, so I don't know if it's Nick
Ingram.
Nick Ingram.
Nick King Graham.
I thought Graham, you know, as in
Nick Ingram with like 4 M's.
No. Nah, for me,
his biggest issue is the board.
What is it? Like, I feel like Lampard, is just getting a bad rep.
No, his biggest issue is the board.
Nah, but we'll talk about the board. I get that Lampard and Harry Redknapp, I'm not sure why he came out and ever said that, I like plugged lamps with the Derby job. He shouldn't have said that. But you know, Harry Redknapp, that's a wheeling deal. That's a wheeling deal. But like, look, he went to a Derby team. People say he took Derby from 4th to 4th, but he went to a Derby team that lost 12 players that summer. They lost 12 players. He brought in Mount. He brought in Harry Wilson. He brought in Tomori, and they were actually their best players. He did well. They got to the playoff final. By the way, let's not forget, nobody had them beating Bielsa's Leeds at that point. Leeds were running the championship. They had that little bottle, and then he beat them.
They were supposed to go up.
Exactly, they were supposed to go up. Then they lost to a Jack Grealish, Aston Villa. But then moving forward, he got the Chelsea job that nobody wanted. Nobody would have wanted that Chelsea job at that point. Where Hazard, best player in the Premier League, best player in the decade, goes and leaves. And then Chelsea bring him in. Lampard's just there probably just to calm the fans down, like, you know, that patience guy. Does well. Gets them top 4 with Tammy Abraham. FA Cup final, okay, he loses. Let's not forget, FA Cup final, he still got to the final. He lost. The next season, they brought in all these players. And for someone like Lampard, for me, he was too inexperienced to handle such in one go. So look at that. He went from Derby, who he's only having to get loan favors from his old clubs, to no signings, to Ziyech, Havertz, Werner, boom. He's not ready for that, bro. Coach. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, it went left. Because now it becomes, you can say coach, but it also becomes management, bro. You got to now start managing egos. You got to start managing more. With the Chelsea thing, he come through, and Derby. I'm big Frank Lampard. You guys are all youngers. I can coach you. You guys look up to me. I can just coach you guys. You guys will listen to every word. But now you're bringing in Havertz, Werner, Ziyech, Thiago Silva. You're bringing in board. No, but you're not saying it's not big, but they're big money, bro. It's big money and big ego. It's money. You're underestimating. You're thinking egos means because you have to be a Neymar or something. No, you're somebody, Havertz. You've been told all the time, you are Germany's new Prince of Football. You are the new. Ballack is saying he's the best talent. They're all saying he's the best talent since Michael Ballack. And then you're coming in. I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not blaming. I'm not blaming him. No, you're not getting what I'm saying.
Like Zidane did at Madrid.
I'm not blaming.
As a coach, you then have to tell this guy who's, you know, on top of, because we always talk about those Havertz stints. Playing false 9, you now have to tell him, listen, bro, I need you to fall in line here. And it's like, okay, Ziyech, you know, Ajax, Ping Galastic, you have to do this. It's a very different dynamic when, if you think about it, Lampard, he came from youth football. We're talking about.
But what I'm saying is,
was Lampard the guy that signed these guys then?
I don't even think he was. I don't know. It's a 50-50. But it's not about that. I'm not saying it's these guys' fault. I'm saying 7 signings, 8 signings.
It's a different dynamic.
Eight signings in one summer.
Everton. Because if you look at Everton's change room over the last few years and everything, the signings
changes every 12 months.
Fam, it's mad in there. A man said, listen, Rafa Benitez was out the door and he said, listen, I don't like this guy. He's been a great left back. Cool. I don't like him. They signed some next guy. Let him go. The change, I think, like with the Gordons and the young players that have been popping up and everything, I think Lampard can do really well. I think with like sort of like the Richarlisons and Calvert-Lewin, I think he can galvanise that team to go on a run. What I'm scared about is, I don't think that. But I think in terms of, because Lampard's not going there to be there for 1 season, 2 seasons. He wants to go there to establish himself as a Premier League manager. Going forward, that board is so incompetent. I don't know what's going to happen in 6 months.
Thing is, you got to hope. The only thing for Everton fans, they got to hope that Lampard has learned from the Chelsea situation. That's all you can really hope for. Because he'll probably know this is my last decent Premier League job potentially, where actually a club will throw money and help me. Do you know what I mean? And if he gets anything else, he's going to be talking about Norwich and stuff. He almost went to Norwich.
Everton fans have been so vocal about it. It's like, it's not even about. I don't want to relate to United because you know how United saying, listen, the board. Everton fans are literally saying, listen, you can bring anyone in here. The board don't understand football.
Yeah, but what is success for Everton? What does Lampard have to go and do at Everton to be seen as a successful manager?
Well, do what West Ham are doing.
I'll bring it back to your tweet.
Do what West Ham are doing.
Your tweet was that they will never have it as good as they had it, right? On the Moyes.
They'll just never be. They weren't even. They were good. You can say, okay, Moyes was successful because you can't be judging by trophies per se, but.
Bro, you have an identity.
And the things I respect it.
Everton were under Martinez were cute for a little while. Lukaku, Naismith feels a bit cute. That's a bit Morales.
Morales, yeah,
it was a cute little time, innit?
He was decent for
it.
I remember.
Challenge.
I used to get confused with him and Mertens.
Yeah, so it's successful.
So the thing is, I think it's a different thing now. Before it was like, okay, you're looking at a league position. Now I think it's about you look at, okay, Everton probably think we have to be ahead of a Villa. We have to be ahead of those.
Do
projects.
they? Villa, who are just throwing money for Bants. Let's not act like Villa are spending money, bro.
Everton have spent
We're
a
going
lot of
to
money.
spin the black
Everton
on
have
that
spent,
one.
is it 500 million? They spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
They have
But it's
spent
hard
a
to
lot.
compete with. I'm saying it's
No,
going
I
to
get
take a
you,
while for
but
that.
I think as a
everyone's
club-
ambition is Europe now.
Yeah.
Everyone's.
And
Back
that's
in
why
the
I
day,
don't-
it wasn't like
And
that.
that's why I don't think Europe is the ambition. I think it's sort of like we see sort of what clubs in a similar sort of predicament are. We have to be better than them. And then if we're better than them, hopefully we can get to Europe. Because you think about it, remember we said that the top six is the top six. It's there, but what's it? We only got 3 minutes left. So I've got something. But yeah, on that, obviously you mentioned Court earlier. So I got Arcs Productions to do something, you know. So we're gonna have a quick session of Court here. Of, you know, and we're gonna make this like a
interesting.
monthly. We're gonna make it a monthly thing where because ultimately we
Court
say things at the moment.
proceedings.
Court proceedings for
Say less.
ourselves. So we have to take accountability. So the first person to the stand would be Fuad,
I knew it.
and Fuad, your shout was Tanganga has solved the right back problem at Spurs, and this was after he beat Man City.
When was this?
This was
Is there proof of that though?
there is. It was on the episode.
I need the context of which this was said.
After you beat
Please.
Man City, that was the context.
It was in that.
You know
After the first game of the season.
Yeah. You said
Nah.
finally Spurs' right back situation is solved. We've got Japhet Tanganga.
Was this
He
before
solved
Emerson
all
was
our
signed?
problems.
Was this before
What
Emerson was signed?
can,
Because that's what I'm saying. That would have been before Emerson.
Context
like,
needed,
there's
innit?
context is needed.
no,
Man
but,
can't
that's
just
your, but that can be your defense.
Everyone knows. What have I said about Tanganga the last 2 weeks?
That can be your
Needy,
defense.
needy, man.
Bruv, I said get him out of here. The man needs development loan.
That can be your defense.
He's been fed to the wolves. Listen,
We'll wrap through these. Is this one that we'll review VAR for this one?
we need VAR for
Okay,
this
cool.
one.
The other one
I've
was
got time for 8 minutes, episode 1.
okay, cool.
Okay.
The
go back
next
to
one,
that.
the next one on yours, we've got 3 each. Is Lukaku's the 3rd best striker in the world after Lewandowski and Kane. This was signed after Lukaku signed for Chelsea.
Yeah, I remember saying that. False. I removed that. I renounced that claim.
Cool.
I renounced that claim.
We have one more for you.
That was post Euros hype. I had all my stocks in
He was
Lukaku.
needy at
Ben-
Then he
Ben-
signed for the Snakes.
Ben Chilwell is a bad signing for Chelsea. This was after Chilwell signed for Chelsea.
What was this? 2 years ago. I still don't think Chilwell is all that. To be honest, I think
Good signing.
I think he under Tuchel's system, it's definitely highlighted his best attributes more. But I still don't think Chilwell's one of the best left backs out there. He's good.
Chillers.
okay.
You man,
My boy
nah.
Chills.
So
50 mil.
Cam,
Ooh.
your
Oh,
ones,
man, Chills is a good signing.
Your cases they're interesting cases. There's like
Oh, man.
the
I
Crown
know it's
prosecution.
about a lot of misquoting.
Chilwell.
The Crown
Hype.
prosecution.
I'm always
So,
misquoted.
bruh,
I'm used
Man
to
United
this.
will finish above Liverpool this season. Said at the start of
Yeah,
the season.
said 3rd, but we're gonna finish. We're not even gonna might not even finish top 4.
Cool.
Sorry. I need to stop saying we. I don't support Man United. No, I'm being dead serious.
This
I'm being dead serious.
this
No
one is
banter, I
this
don't
is
support
one
Man
that's
United.
been
This
one's been
disaffiliating.
This one's been contentious. It's the Saka's not good enough to be a world class winger. He has no outstanding traits.
Yeah, I still stand by that.
No outstanding traits. World class winger.
Yeah, no, of course. What's changed?
Cool.
What's changed? He's had a good little
And
run.
then this one is
Still stand by that.
This one stood for the whole of last season. Well, obviously a new season now. Jack Grealish is the best player in the Premier League.
Still stand by it.
Fuck
mate.
off.
Still stand by it.
Fuck off.
Still
Nah,
stand
listen.
by it.
We said we're coming here for accountability and
Yeah,
honesty, bro.
Why do I have
Listen,
to change
if I
it?
can,
First season
if I
he's-
can renounce and
next
say,
season
look
we're
at
having a player of
Lukaku
the
and
year
say,
run.
yo, you know what? I was wrong. He's not a top 3. You can look at Grealish and say he's not the best player in the Premier League.
I think he's the best player in the Premier League.
You're lying.
Alright, here are my 3. Here are
What do
my
you
3
want
that
from
were
me?
sent in.
Let us next season. Let us cook. Let us cook.
I cannot wait
Let
to
us
see this
cook.
black. You know when that chicken
Let-
is unseasoned with the boiled vegetables. That's the cooking you're talking about.
You know when you go to the oven, you realize they switch on your fuck.
Bro.
The ones that were sent in for me is no players improved at Arsenal in the last 10 years. That was in the first episode of this season. That one is a bit mad.
What do you say?
I said that no players improved
Yeah,
at
that
Arsenal
was
in the last 10
that
seasons.
was.
That one's a
Bruv.
bit. There's too much season on that one.
That,
No, 10 years is a bit
some
of
of
a
your
stretch.
Arsenal cooking
Yeah.
definitely. He goes like people think I hate Arsenal, but he is actually the Arsenal hater on
The
this.
second one, this one's a bit interesting. Jared Bowen will be a good player, be a very good Premier League player when he signed for West Ham. I think he's doing alright.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
They're doing good shots. Yeah.
Oh,
No, this
so
is-
when
there's
it's
bias
him,
here,
he gets
there's
his
bias.
good shouts, and we only get the
No, but this
say
one,
less.
no, this one's mad.
Say less.
No, this one was
We've
mad.
seen
No,
it.
this one's mad. This one's mad.
This was going on now,
This one's
yeah?
mad. Havertz will be a young player of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Renounced.
Hey,
That was
hey,
renounced.
hey. You had some Lukaku stuff as well. Don't try.
Yeah, I said he'll
don't
get
try.
30 I said he'll
You
get
see,
30
you see
goals
how
a
they
comp.
throw the mud and run away.
No. I said he'll get 30 goals a comp. That's false.
Uh-huh.
That's false.
What about Chelsea winning the
Big
league?
false. That's
Yeah,
false.
saying that.
I said those ones though. I said those ones.
What about
They want to bring you
Guilty on all
shout.
cases.
what about when you
Guilty
said
on all
what about when you
cases.
said Zuma's the answer?
Yes!
Yes! I remember everything, bro. Yeah.
Zuma could have been the answer. Zuma Christensen.
Bro, Zuma's not the answer, bro. He said something about Christensen turning the corner as well, but me, at the time he went back left.
And then he did. That's why Barcelona look at him now. Come on.
Boy,
Come
we'll
on.
see.
Those ones is come on those ones, but I think we'll do this once a month where we'll go back. We'll do it for each other. Like we'll pick who has to go and pick someone's shouts.
Say no more.
And then we'll present it.
I'm about to delve into the
Everybody
arc.
that watches Stoppage Time knows I shoot 80%. My shouts are mad.
And the thing
are
is,
you dumb?
you see with stuff like this, remember, everything is said in the moment of the time.
100%.
That's why, like, listen, if it's
something Tanganga best right back. Hey, yo, I was desperate. You know I was bleeding.
No, you don't understand. You didn't even say best. You said has solved.
Nah, I'm just crying. I need to. We're gonna see the clips after this.
Listen, that's another episode.
Champion
Duds.
Oh, yeah.
Duds. So I've got Ivan Toney. You are a dud.
Yeah. Big
You're a
dud.
dud. You're a big dud. Big
For
dud.
why?
For why? For dying for Yash. Pretty much. The thing is, you see when I see stuff like this,
Mid.
I don't get what the point of the video was, though.
No, this is the thing.
Bro,
Fuck Brentford.
you know when you're in the
stupid.
venue and you're just like, I need to get the cheeks by any means necessary, and you just go with it. It's like, brother.
But he did. He said, "Fuck Brentford."
Yeah,
he was
Yeah,
trying.
because
He's
this is what
And
we're
it's
doing
like-
today, innit? Yeah, it's what I gotta do to get you. Yeah.
It's just like, it's just weird. Like, and then the statement, it was chopped and edited. No, bro, the video looped when I saw it. That wasn't chopped and edited. It looped back. So like, but this is why I get mad, because I see stuff like that. He's in Dubai doing that, and I know Souness is looking. He's thinking, oh, look at this guy. But I've got Mason Mount. Mason Mount's in Scotland. Declan Rice is in Scotland.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, they were doing up thingy bob. They were playing.
golf.
Rice was playing golf. So yeah, these good boys. He got the blackies. They're going to Dubai and making a rocket with their clubs. I know that's what he's thinking, bro. Man, them need to be better. Rashford and Lingard, I'm sorry. The PR statement. There's certain things you just don't need to address, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, there's certain things you don't need to address. When you try and address everything and try and please everyone, you get yourself in a sticky situation.
But I feel like
and I think
that
it's not. When you know what's happening, you know what's happening.
That one's the PR team.
the PR.
Man. Like, them man need to just. They've done well to. The thing is, I feel like they're getting Rashford in a tough situation now because
he can't be the voice of everything.
He can't be the voice of everything. We get it. Like the food stuff is good, and I'm happy that he's done it, and this helps probably so many people.
The food stuff is such a funny.
But
But
it's true. Battling Boris Johnson publicly, all of that type of stuff is good, but he's not the spokesman of life. Like he doesn't have. They're making him the spokesman of life. Like relax. Like not after every defeat he has to apologize. Not after every bad miss or he has to apologize. If anything, Rashford's gone through a peak year. Bad performances pretty much. The penalty shootout. With England, obviously he missed, and obviously the start of this season and stuff like that. They should just be laying low. Stop trying to, Stop trying to force this image of him, because I bet he's probably not even care about that. Bruv. He's probably like, you man, just do your thing. But
it's like now you gotta apologize for fucking taking pictures with people as well. For me, I just feel like it's going too far.
It's too much. Because so what happens when people take pictures with John Terry? Or what happens when people take pictures with
Boris Johnson? I'm sure has pictures.
Do you know what I mean? What happens? Should we start apologizing for taking pictures with people that have been charged with racism? Should we start apologizing? All of a sudden,
it's a slippery slope,
slippery water. You know what I mean? It's a slippery route you're going down there, man.
I was gonna say, like, I get being the voice of the heroes and that, but like they're trying to make him everywhere, and you can't be everywhere. You can't please everyone. That's just the facts of life. I'm trying to think if there's any other duds. I feel like I'm missing a big one
this week. Has to be Spurs, man. You guys getting rejected too much. Sorry. I'm sorry.
What?
You guys are getting rejected too much. You're getting too many rejections.
Do you know what? Yeah,
or maybe it's media talk. But
I'm like, yo. Do you know what
Sorry.
Spurs have become? Spurs have become the easy
the whipping boys,
smoke screen.
Yeah.
Do you remember, like, United used to be this is how we secure a big payday.
Yeah.
Spurs are hey, put this out that Spurs are bidding, and then the real club will bid. I promise you, bro. I just feel like it's too.
But who's
Luis
the player?
Diaz out of nowhere.
It's a
Traore, I believe. Traore, egg
Traore.
on our face, yeah.
Vlahovic.
And especially because we offered him like 120k,
He took
and he
30K.
took 30k or
I say he
something
took
like that.
GSA, That's too funny.
Arsenal fans, duds.
Oh,
Yeah,
They
Vlahovic.
Vlahovic.
Yeah.
He signed. Now they said that he's whack. He's scared to come to the Prem,
yeah.
and they're stalking.
Talking, they're checking,
that
they're
he's-
checking his MOT and tax. You know,
it's registered a
That's-
month ago.
aye.
That's scary, man.
that's crazy.
scary.
Yeah,
What is it? They
that's
say
too
touch
far.
grass.
Yeah, that's true.
Champs, Cameroon are doing their thing in the home AFCON.
Yeah, man.
I
big
can't
up
lie.
them.
The
Tambi.
360, the Akambia Bubukar doing Eton and Roma.
That was
That's
good
heritage.
post. That was a good post.
That's a very good post. That's heritage.
For real.
Yeah, they're
And
doing their
Bomba don't
thing.
get the love he deserves as
Real
well.
talk. Real talk.
Nah,
what else is-
even I feel like it's gonna be a decent semi-finals. It's gonna be a
Burkina
decent
Faso as
They're
semi-finals.
well.
saying
for
that
AFCON.
Burkina Faso, that's their fourth semi-final.
bruv.
They cut through
The last-
sometimes quietly,
Hey.
No,
can't
third
even-
semi-final in the last 4 tournaments.
bro. They cut
Where's-
through
where's
They
quietly.
Banku?
resurrected their
Where's
birthday
Banku?
spirit, bruv. Huh?
Where's Banku, bruv?
Banku. Once, you mean?
Yeah.
Man said,
Fam,
Banku.
he's in their stuff.
I was going to say, get him
said
out there, bruv.
That's racist, bro. Man said, where's Banku?
Oh man, I'm trying to think. Is there anyone
That's
else?
crazy, bro.
Let's get to the real champs.
Oh, Barcelona
Barcelona and Real Madrid.
making P
Real
out of nowhere.
Madrid.
Bro,
What they
Ponzi schemes. Ponzi schemes.
That's
Has
the
it been
revival.
confirmed, though? But I'm hearing Barcelona trying to sell 49% of their media.
Media
Bro,
rights
yeah.
to make
Barcelona are selling everything. They
gonna be
need money. They're that
scheme.
desperate, bro.
They want Haaland badly, but flipping out, he's going to have to score 60, 65 a season at this point. He's going to have to carry a whole ship. I rate that they're making moves still, but
Laporta.
Adama move.
Yeah.
What's this? Oh, yeah. 400 million. See, Real Madrid do their thing.
La
though, innit?
Liga.
Listen,
coming.
them Ponzi schemes are different.
Hey,
Them Ponzi
listen,
schemes
they
are different.
they're the big boys. They're the original big boys, bro.
You got to respect.
I was
Real
gonna-
Madrid, though,
it's
they
not
weren't running
football,
dry.
Then
It's
like
not football.
they
but
had a little barren year or two where they weren't splashing the cash,
And then they
but
said,
it was
"Enough."
only a matter of time, bro.
Enough.
Oh, I
not-
got a dud,
Go on.
actually. Wait, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say it's not like football, but it's football. The person that came out and said that
I
Tom
was just
Brady's
about to say
retiring.
that.
Who? Huh?
The person that came out and said that Tom Brady's retiring, and apparently he's not.
Dud.
What we done? FIFA president is not.
Whoa! Yeah, FIFA president say he basically said that that a World Cup every 2. If you do a World Cup every 2 years, it will stop African migration. In like people like trying to get across
What?
to Europe in boats and stuff.
Oh, shit.
And then he
I
said
saw it, but I
he said
wasn't
he
paying
was
attention
he
to
said
that,
it was a
so-
misquote. He said it was a misquote.
Why are main outlets not reporting this?
It was reported still.
But how would they report with energy or?
Listen, that must have went. I must have
Yeah.
still been asleep in the morning.
Nah,
or
the
something.
Tom Brady
They did
one
that
is
9 a.m.
hilarious.
post and then said, "Yeah, let's move on."
The
Rest of
Tom Brady
Transfer
thing
news.
is crazy.
The Tom Brady
That's
one
nuts.
is actually hilarious, bro.
It is
When-
what it is,
that's
man.
a
Go
dud.
be a father, bro. You're 43, man.
No, no,
like,
no. As
he
in
didn't
the person-
retire,
He
though.
didn't retire. He's
But
not
go
retiring.
retire. What are you doing here? You won your Super Bowl and you proved you could do it without a Belichick. You got slumped this year. Safe. Go, Giselle. The kids, they're all waiting for you, brother.
He wants that
43.
eight. He wants that 8.
Oh, come
he's even
on.
44
You're
now.
already the GOAT. No one's catching you up. Yards, touchdowns, Super Bowls. Forget it. Just go
What about
home.
my homeboy?
My homeboy hype. Listen,
your guy,
you
nah?
need the system. No,
Ain't my homeboy your guy?
no. My homeboy ain't my guy, but serious talent. But Lamar Jackson's my guy. Action Jackson, baby.
NFL hype. If it's not
Hey,
NBA,
listen.
NFL hype, boy.
Football hype.
NBA, that's what it's all about.
Any champs?
Nah.
Us for being consistent where everyone else took time off.
Yeah, man.
Big us up.
Christmas period, everybody taking time off. Yo,
Stoppage time, stoppage time, stoppage time.
we need something better than
Stoppage
that.
time, stoppage time, stoppage time.
We need a bit more vim.
Listen, that's another episode. Well done, man. Man took it to the pub.